Okay. Friday news day. Friday what's up day. Friday, it's almost like howdy doody day. You guys know what that is. I know you do. Alright, let me see. By the way, while I'm here thinking about it, thank you for the response for the shirts. I can't believe how fast half of them disappeared really quick. I don't know exactly what I've got left. I've been marking them on my list over here, and I don't really want to say right now, and I'll tell you why. It's not that I'm trying to keep it a secret. I'm not. This is Wednesday. I got a big response today. A lot of them are packed up. They're sitting outside, out on our countertop, ready to go to the post office tomorrow to ship them out. He didn't put it on my PayPal. When you go to PayPal, and I've never bought anything on my PayPal, so I'm not 100% sure. I use PayPal a lot for Amazon, or not Amazon, eBay, Walmart. I've used it on Walmart. I've used it at the HP products, Canon, camera products, different places. I've used my PayPal a lot. So, but I know there's a place you can put a message on there, because I've seen it, but I don't remember exactly where it was at. In that message box is, you just need to put a shipping address. You know, just anything simple like, ship to this address, and then put it in there, or hi Skip, how you doing, and then put a shipping address in there. That message right there that you put on PayPal comes directly to my email account only, and that's where I get the mailing address. It doesn't go out onto the YouTube channel, the comment page, or anything like that. It doesn't go there. Now, if you put your address in a comment box on my YouTube channel, then yeah, it's there for other people to see. So generally speaking, what I like to do with those is just, once I see you do that, I know you probably don't care, but I write your address down on a notepad I keep over here, and then I'm going to delete your comment, because I just don't like the idea of you putting your private mailing address on, you know, for the world to see. Probably would never have a problem. I'm just probably trying to be too safe, I suppose. But anyway, let's go on. But man, thank you so much for the response. Been great. Residents of tiny Sumter County town fearful of impending invasion by the villages. I read this report here the other day. It's a very simple report. I understand, trust me, I understand, but you know, the bottom line of it is you can't stop progress. You know, and what's progress? Some people sees as progress, other people sees as an invasion, kind of like. I've been there in my lifetime, but you know, it's all about money in America. It just seems like it is. Sumter County is going to approve it. If it doesn't violate environmental laws, pollution laws, water, you know, all these kind of laws, it's all about taxes, and they're going to approve it, because the more houses they build, the more money Sumter County will make, if it's in Sumter County, or any other county for that matter. And yeah, that's bottom line, sorry to say, because I've been in that position, and we tried everything in the world to stop it. And we tried water problems, water drainage problems, noise pollution. We tried every trick in the book, and it went nowhere. But the town is, you know, because they got approved to go down past Coleman, which is past Finney, down there on the left, pretty close to the federal prison down there. Actually, it's called the Coleman Prison, I think. But let me see here. 159-acre tract south of the village of Finney recently was annexed to the city of Wildwood they're talking about, and probably will be developed as another village's neighborhood. The property is adjacent to the city limits of Coleman to the west, About 23 acres of the land are wetlands, which will be preserved or offset, and the villages has vowed to protect endangered species, including sandhill cranes. The property is expected to develop as part of a larger mixed-use development. I don't like that word. Mixed-use development. Doesn't really tell you much, does it? With a heavy residential component, according to a memo by Melanie Peavy, Wildwood's Development Service Director. Commercial and institutional components of the project may generate a substantial number of jobs. Now that might be the industrial park that I was telling you guys about, that I heard about a long time ago. Supposed to employ something like 10,000 people over a period of 10 years or something. So that could be that. Anyway, the city, what town was it? It's not Coleman complaining here, even though Coleman may have an issue here. Residents of Adamsville, a small community near County Road 505 and 468, expressed concern that the amendment would apply only to villages' property and not to other developers, which could limit the ability of residents outside the villages to develop their property. Well, yeah, that's what it's all about. If he's in control, then it's basically will be a kind of a closed community. Have golf cart access. You know, when he didn't get that property that Trailwinds is on right now, when he backed out of that deal because Wildwood tried to pull some shenanigans there, he backed out of that deal. And I don't blame the developer for that. But Trailwinds came in there, or a developer for Trailwinds came in there and bought that property. Now that property is not golf cart accessible. If it would have been developed by the villages, because it's right next to Sandhill Golf Course, there would have been golf cart trails connecting that whole area into the villages. And we could have took our golf carts wherever. Now, yeah, there's an Aldi's in there, there's, I don't know, stuff in there. An ABC liquor store, I think, a gas station, I think there's a Lowe's in there. None of that is golf cart accessible because it's not part of the villages. And I think that was a mistake, big mistake Wildwood made, even though they're still going to collect the tax dollars from that place. But it's a big mistake in the long run because we don't have accessibility to that by our golf carts. And that's what made everything great here. Also is that hotel or apartment houses they want to build right next door in that field next to Hacienda of Mission Hills. You know, $500,000 houses are in there, and they're wanting to build apartment houses next to them. And I guess it's been approved. I don't like it. I don't even live there, but I don't like it. And I don't think the people there like it, and I don't really blame them. But there again, it's all about tax dollars. They don't care. Commissioner says he'll vote against 7-Eleven after broken promises on Rolling Acres Road. Don't blame him there either. Villagers pack Brownwood to Paddock Square for a final Christmas tree lighting ceremony. It's a big deal. It's like almost an all-day thing down at any of the squares or Christmas tree lighting. I've been to all of them, most of them twice. I've seen it. I'm not interested in going anymore. If you've never been to it, I say go early because it's a standing in the street celebration when all the crowd really gets there. Some people seem to think they can just go down and have dinner and go over and find a seat. No, they're going to be full. People goes down there literally hours before it starts and they grab a seat and they sit in it. You can't rope seats off and save them. That's a rule that's always been here, and people are getting wise to it, and they're also getting tired of it. And now I think the village's event staff, they keep an eye out for that. If you start roping things off or putting a towel in a chair in their chairs, not your chair, their chairs, and trying to save seats, they will politely come over and tell you you can't do that anymore. Or they'll take the ropes off the chairs and throw it off into the bushes there on the side so you can get it later. You can't do that. But it'll be fall. Go early. I just don't like fighting crowds anymore. I really don't. Woman on medication involved in crash near Rohan Rec Center. Everybody down here is on medication of some kind or another. Suspect in honey-baked ham burglary. Arrested behind wheel of stolen pickup. Wait a minute. I'm laughing because it sounds funny, but it may not be about. I picture her stealing a ham, but it's probably not that. Let me see. Wildwood man was being held on a $72,000 bond. Woo, man, he must have done something serious. After he was nabbed behind the wheel of a stolen pickup during an investigation into a burglary at Honey Baked Ham, well that's the name of the store, Honey Baked Ham at Village's Crossroads. An employee arrived for work at 6:45 a.m. Friday and noticed a lock was missing from the pod's storage unit at the store, according to a report from the Lady Lake Police Department. Surveillance showed a red Ford pickup drive up to the unit. The driver got out, broke the lock, and looked inside. The same truck was spotted by Lake County Sheriff's Department at 9:40 p.m. Monday on Rolling Acres Road at Lady Lake Boulevard. The deputy followed the truck and initiated a traffic stop on Rolling Acres Road at the side entrance to the Rolling Acres Apartments. The driver, later identified as 28-year-old Kendall Wayne Wilbanks, fled on foot in the direction of the apartment complex. As Wilbanks was climbing a 4-foot fence, the deputy tasered him and Wilbanks ignored commands to stop running. He also was arrested in 2016 in the theft of a carton of cigarettes at Circle K. Get a job. It's easier. 88-year-old villager nearly scammed out of $3,000 over jailed daughter. I think I read this. Yeah. 88 years old, it's hard to tell. Could be an Alzheimer patient. You don't know. You don't know. But, you know, listen, the sheriff's department's not going to call you up and say, go to Walmart and get me a card, put $1,000 on it, and wire it to me right away, or I'm going to come and have to arrest you. They're not going to do that. IRS is not going to do that. They can't do that. The banks are not going to call you up and say, send me $3,000 today on a Walmart card, or, you know, a money card. They don't do that. Business don't work that way. So what happened here was somebody called this guy up. This was a little bit more ingenuity in this phone call, and told him that it was his daughter. Now I don't know if they knew what his daughter's name was, or maybe they just kind of pretended to daddy, you know. I don't even know if they knew that he even had a daughter, but anyway, she pretended to be his daughter. He thought it was his daughter. And she said, Daddy, I need you to send me like $3,000 right away, blah, blah, blah. And anyway, let me see if I can find the whole story, because I know I'll get it screwed up. And believe me, I've got subscribers out there that if I make a mistake, they let me know. An 88-year-old villager narrowly avoided being scammed out of thousands of dollars over his jailed daughter. The Village of Bel Air resident was contacted last week by someone he believed to be his daughter. She claimed $3,000 in Home Depot gift cards was needed to keep her out of jail. See, that's what I mean. They're not going to say, go to Home Depot and get me $3,000 worth of gift cards to get out of jail. But anyway, the villager went to Home Depot in Lady Lake, where he purchased a $2,000 gift card and a $1,000 gift card. But then he began to have bad feelings about the situation, the report said. He went to the Sumter County Sheriff's Office and was told it was a scam. He went to Home Depot to return the cards, but was told he would need a police report. The villager then went to the Lady Lake Police Department, as Home Depot is located in its jurisdiction. Just don't do this, people. People, listen to me. Anytime you get a phone call that says, go to Home Depot, go to Walmart, go get me a $3,000 gift card, a $100 gift, and send it to me, or I'm going to have to come and arrest you. Just hang up. Just hang up. I know I haven't been doing the news a lot lately because it's kind of been all the same thing. It's almost depressing. A caregiver who allegedly preyed on a villager previously served time after stabbing a man. Man, you are just hunky-dory. This was here, I thought was kind of funny. Maybe it's my weird sense of humor, I don't know. Probably ain't funny to the person whose house he broke into. That guy right there. Come on, focus! We touch the screen again. There it goes. Looks like an ordinary grandpa, doesn't he? Well, he's not. He's a druggie. A villager was arrested after drugs and syringes were discovered in his golf cart. Fruitland Park police were dispatched Saturday night to investigate a report of suspicious activity at a vacant house in Delk Drive in the village of Pine Ridge. When they arrived at the home, they found 59-year-old Daniel Kerr of the village of Piedmont, who said he had been hired to clean up at the house, which has been vacant for 3 weeks. Police found that Kerr was wanted on a Sumter County warrant charging him with failure to appear. Failure to appear is non-bondable. Kerr's golf cart was parked in the driveway in the rear compartment. A box of syringes was discovered. Under the box was a small metal Camel tobacco container in which heroin was found. A spoon with the residue of heroin was also discovered in the golf cart. Kerr was arrested on charges of possession of a controlled substance and possession of drug paraphernalia. He was booked at the Lake County Jail on $1,500 bond. Driver ticketed following the rear-end crash on County Road 466A near Trailwinds Villages. Well, you must have been tailgating, or you wasn't playing with your phone, was you, while you was driving down the road? Come on now, tell me you wasn't doing that. A 28-year-old man was arrested in the alleged theft of nearly $1,000 worth of items at the Goodwill Superstore in Oxford. You know, I don't know what it is around here. Is it drugs that's causing all these people to shoplift and steal and everything? Is it the lack of just not wanting to work, that you can feel like you can just steal everything you need to get? Is it work ethic? Did you not grow up with any kind of work ethic to earn things? I don't understand it. Just seems like there's a lot of thievery down here in Florida, as opposed to, say, when I lived in Indiana. Not to say there wasn't no thievery going on, there was. But I just don't recall it being a daily thing like this. Maybe it is now. Don't really know. I ain't been up there for a while. There he is. Doggone it. Focus. There you go. Looks like he's got a little bit of a drug problem to me. That'd be my guess. Man was arrested early Monday morning in the alleged theft of items at the Goodwill store in Oxford. A Wildwood police officer was on patrol at 2:42 a.m., 3 o'clock in the morning. Obviously, he ain't working. When he spotted a suspicious vehicle near the rear entrance of the store, the officer spotted the man, later identified as 28-year-old Stephen Allen Smith, a Summerfield, who was wearing dark clothing, black gloves, and a mask. Smith claimed he was looking for clothing for his children. He had assembled a pile of items including a computer monitor, skateboard, women's clothing, and other items valued at $900 to $1,000, according to the arrest report. Smith was arrested on charges of burglary, grand theft, and loitering. He was booked at the Sumter County Detention Center on $7,500 bond. Vandals deface Ocala High School with graphic language. That kind of happens in a lot of places. I think it's disgusting, but it happens. You know, when I was in school, we never even thought about doing stuff like that. We never did. Were we stupid? Were we ignorant? I don't think so. It's just the way our mind worked. We just Not to say we were angels, we weren't. We went out and we did things, you know, Halloween, we soaped windows. I'll be the first to admit it. You know, we threw corn at passing cars, stuff like that. Should we have done it? No. But we did. But the idea of taking a gun out and shooting at somebody in a car or anything like that, no. We just never even thought about doing anything like that. Village's waitress. Child with Down syndrome breaks new ground with magazine cover. Oh, she's a sweetie. See that? Yeah. Yeah, she's gonna be a star. Village of Santiago man back behind bars after violating his probation. A 48-year-old resident of the village of Santiago found himself back behind bars after violating his probation. Let me guess, what kind of probation? Drugs or alcohol? Resident village of Santiago found himself back behind bars last week after violating his probation. David C. Donofrio, 48, who lives with his parents, 48, and lives with his parents. 2714 Castillo Drive. I'm very familiar with that area. Very familiar with that area. Had been sentenced in August in Lake County Court to 2 years probation. He was taken into custody this past Thursday and booked without bond on a warrant charging him with violating his probation. He had been sentenced to probation in connection with an August 25, 2017 arrest by Lake County Sheriff's deputies after a traffic stop on US 441, a canine alert on Donofrio's vehicle, and search turned up drug paraphernalia, cocaine, methamphetamine, alprazolam, and hydrocodone. I don't need to go on. It's all about drugs, ain't it? 48-year-old, living with his parents. People always say, well, what's wrong with that? There's always something wrong with it, it seems like. At least 90% of the time, there's something wrong with that. And here's another one. Drugs. Him staying with his parents means he doesn't have to pay for a house, pay rent, pay for food, pay for anything. All the money he's got and can steal and whatever all goes to drugs. So mom and dad's an enabler. Whether they want to agree with that or not, that's what they are. Let's see, suspect arrested after alleged theft of materials from construction site. That happens, not a lot, but that happens. It happened here in Hillsboro, matter of fact. Somebody came in with a pickup truck, working a guard check up at Hillsboro. They got cameras going and coming. And he comes in with an empty truck. Comes into Hillsboro at one of the new houses. And he goes in and he loads up a brand new refrigerator and a brand new stove, if I remember right. Maybe he got the microwave too, I'm not sure, but I know he got the stove and he got the refrigerator, put it in the truck, goes out the gate, and so the next day the construction people are saying, hey, somebody been here and stole our stuff. They called the, I believe, Sumter County Sheriff's Department. They came out. Now the Sumter County Sheriff has kind of an office in the back of the CDD building for Community Watch, which I worked for. And when things like that would happen, he would go up there and he could go to any one of these gate cameras, and then he could sit there and go through the camera and look. Here they got this picture of this truck and driver coming in with an empty truck on this side, and on the camera on the other side it shows that same driver, because it takes a picture of the driver, the license plate, everything, going out. And in the back of the truck was a refrigerator and a stove. Now here's the dumbness of this guy. So they got the address right. They got his license plate and all this and that. And I believe it was either Sumter County or maybe it was Sumter County and the Wildwood police together. I'm not sure. But anyway, they went to his place of residence, and it seems to me that he was shared residence with his sister or maybe his mother. I'm not sure. And in the driveway of this house was this guy's truck, still in the back of the truck. You could see it from the road. Was this refrigerator and stove. I don't know why he didn't unload it and try to hide it the day before. I don't know, but there it was. And they just arrested the guy. I mean, there it is right there. What are you going to say? Or I didn't know it was on there? You know, nobody ever said a thief was smart. 79-year-old villager charged with DUI after blacking out before car crash. You just got to assume. I know it's a small percentage. Maybe, I don't know what I'm not going to say, but there's a small percentage of people here that's on drugs. But because they're prescription drugs, they seem to think that they can take them and still drive a car. Even though the little paper they give you with the bottle of drugs that you're supposed to read that nobody really ever does read, it probably says right on there, and I've had these drugs, where it says don't operate a vehicle or any heavy-duty equipment or whatever for 2 hours after you take this drug or something like that. And these people never read it. So they go, these people's got heart conditions, they've got a lot of pain, and so they might be taking, I don't know what you'd call it, but I'll say a very good, because I've had them, a very good pain pill, like say Oxycontin, Percocet. I took Percocets once. Wow, that's all I can say. I had no pain anywhere. But I wouldn't want to be driving a car with it, And I think that's what the thing is, because it's a prescription drug, they think it's perfectly okay, and it's not. Stonecrusher claims to be victim to internet fraud in vehicle purchase scam. See? Villager with vodka bottles in car arrested near Santo Domingo Postal Station. Armed Dollar General store bandit behind bars, sheriff detectives say. Phone smashing Summerfield man behind bars after using wooden door as battering ram. Man, drugs has got to be involved with these nutballs. The dog's owner had been inside the store shopping. The golf cart's 65-year-old owner told police that she leaves the dog with her golf cart so it won't be stolen. The golf cart she's talking about being stolen, not the dog. Even though, the woman pointed out that she has guard dog signs posted on her golf cart. Well, really, just because you see a dog, no matter how cute it is, you really shouldn't approach the dog and try to pet it without the owner being there. And then it's really best to ask the owner, can I pet your dog? And then that owner will say yes or no. We had a dog. She was a Boston Terrier. I'm going to be done after I make this comment. And she was a great dog for our family. We never trained her to be mean in any way. We prefer them not to be mean in any way. But she, in her older age, got very defensive of us. And I don't know why. I mean, we hadn't had anything happen. When nobody had ever abused this dog in any way. Trust me, this dog was, like most dogs around here, this dog was spoiled rotten. But for me and my wife and my children and my grandchildren, they could do anything with this dog. She was fine. But when anybody would come to visit that she's never seen before, her whole personality just changed. I would have to pick her up from the floor before I'd answer the door, or pick her up and take her to another room and shut that door before I'd let somebody in the house. Because we always thought that she never did, but we always thought she might bite somebody. She just had that personality about her all of a sudden, and I don't know why. So whenever we had the dog here in the villages, we always kind of walked her around our house. We never really got out in the road much with her. Sue, at night, when there was nobody else around, she might take her a walk down the road and back. And people all the time, if they were out walking their dogs on a cool night, in the summer it gets very hot in the day, so you walk your dogs at night, for several reasons. One is the pavement's cooler and the dog won't burn his paws. And they would just walk up, and she would stand between them and the dog, or she would pick the dog up and hold the dog, and people would say, can I pet your dog? And in most cases we would tell them, so no, you better not, because she might bite you. And so that's why you should always ask. Just don't reach your hand out, because that dog don't know you and you don't know that dog. So it's just kind of a smart thing to do, is not to mess with any dog unless the owner's there. And before you pet the dog, you probably should ask the owner if it's okay. I'll tell you another little story. a friend of ours had a puppy, and it was a very expensive dog. That's all I'll say. Like $1,500 for this animal that they got, and they were people would come over to the house, and they would want to pet this puppy. She wouldn't let them pet the puppy until they put sanitation lotion on their hands, and when they got done, they had to sanitize their hands again. And I never really thought about that because this was a very expensive dog. And I said, why are we doing that? I said, I don't mind that, but I'm just curious why we're doing that. She said, because I don't know where you've been. She said, you may have been petting some other dog that's got some kind of disease, could have a skin allergy or something, and then you're going to transport that in your hands to my dog, and that's why. And I thought, yeah, I never thought about that, but that kind of made sense, especially for an expensive dog. You know, on the farm, we had old farm dogs. I don't think they got sick about anything. I mean, they I don't want to get too graphic. They'd eat anything, and they run. I had one dog that slept with the pigs at night. He just seemed to like it in there. I don't know why, but he just slept with the pigs at night. It was warm. So if any dog should have got a disease, that one should have. He never did. He died of a ripe old age. So anyway, I'll let that go. Y'all have a good day. Thanks once again for ordering the t-shirts. I'm getting them out ASAP as fast as I can. I'll do another report later to let you know exactly what I've got left. There's some of them that's already, sizes wise, there's some that's already gone. But email me. I'll send you all the information I can. Until then, I'm going to say thank you. And I'll see. Oh, I want to thank whoever it was at Bob Evans the other day. I was up there with my wife and my granddaughter and her husband, and the guy was super, super nice. His wife was super, super nice. They bought my whole family dinner while we were up there. You didn't have to do any of that, but I do thank you so much for that. And you guys have a great holiday, and I'll talk to you again some other day. I'll get an update later. Have yourself a nice day, and I'll see you on the other side.